So, welcome to tonight's Tuesday night 6 p.m. Sales Scope. Who have we got? Anyone going to join us? We've got someone join us. Heather's joined us. Hi, Heather. First person to come online. You having a good day? All I've done is eaten ice creams. It's been so hot. Woohoo! Hi, Eric. Hi, Eric. Hi, Tiana. Right, so we've got a few people coming on board. I have had the best afternoon of my life. I came home, I've drank water, and I've eaten chocolate Magnum ice creams, which essentially is the high point of everybody's day when the sun's out. Hi, Bev. Oh my goodness, loads of people are joining us. I think that was Mark from MC Media coming on as well. So, let's make a start, because as you know, those of you who've been on my sessions before, these are quick, because you know, we haven't got time for long stuff. Hi, Julie. Hi, Gabrielle. Lovely. So let me see some new faces here as well. So if this is your first time on this Buzztastic Sales Scope, we go live at 6 o'clock. Hi, Bev. 6 o'clock every Tuesday night. We do 10 minutes, and we do 10 minutes with my co-host. My co-host here is Pirate Pete. He is also a timer, so he's going to keep us to time. He's here. He's here. There we go. He's going to keep us to time to make sure that you get the very best information, the shortest possible time, so you can get on with the rest of your life. So, we're going to set Pirate Pete off. There we go. He's there, and he will go off when we're at time. We've got him in shot. There we go. So, my name is Victoria Fleming, and my company is Buzztastic. I am a sales trainer. I do sales training and consultancy. And I'm really interested... Okay, well, apart from the language, yeah, I'll take that as a compliment there, Gabrielle. Yeah, a bit of a crazy. And my job really is about helping people make a difference to their sales. So we're going to have 10 minutes right now on that thing that lots of people are concerned about, which is picking up the phone. We're going to do 5 top tips. Hi, Rachel. Good to see you join us. So, first things first, you're going to pick up the phone. Now, you might be picking up the phone, you might be picking up the phone after a networking event, you might be picking up the phone to someone you've never spoken to before. But if you are picking up the phone to make a sales call, there's a couple of things that you need to make sure before you even do that. The first thing is, who are you going to speak to? And by that, I mean not a job title, who. You need a name. And if you don't know the name, the first thing that you should be doing is finding out exactly the named contact you need to speak to, especially if you've never spoken to them before. Now, if you don't know it and you can't find it on the internet or anything like that, then I would suggest you put in a preliminary call where you simply ring up and ask, can you ask who, I don't know, the head of logistics or whoever it is might be. Oh, thanks for inviting people, Bev. If anyone else would like to invite people, just swipe and share. Do the swipey thing. So if you don't know, ring up and say, who is the head of logistics? Who is the head of procurement for your organisation? Get the name and move on. Do not ask to speak to them, because at that point they know it's a sales call. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, be very clear about what is your objective for the call. Hi, Wayne. Oh, and thanks for sharing there, Heather. What is your objective for the call? What do you want to get out of it? I always say you want to get one thing out of each call. You can't do everything. Do you want to secure a meeting? Do you want to sell your product over the phone? Do you want to gain an email address? What is it? What is your objective? All right? So there we go. Third thing is, what value can you offer that person? Hi, Andrew. Good to have you joining us. So what value can you offer that person for speaking to you? Can you offer them access to, can you offer people access to some exclusive content? Can you actually offer them feedback on some content that they've generated? Whatever it might be, they're the 3 things before you even pick up the phone. So who are you speaking to? What is your objective for speaking to them? And what value can you offer them? So they're the 3 things before we pick up the phone. We're now going to come onto my 5 top tips there. And look, I've really prepared, so are you ready? Number 1. I'm really sorry, as if Pirate P wasn't enough, I'm now going for paper ones. Okay, so point number 1 is, when you, drum roll, Andrew, drum roll. The drum roll on this is, when you pick up the phone, and I'm really organised today. When you pick up the phone and someone answers it, you are going to speak to that person clearly and slowly. So often, especially, hi Drew, especially when we're making a lot of calls or making a few calls on the run, we end up rushing. Oh, hi, it's Victoria. I'm ringing from Bustastic. Can I speak to Fred, please? It gets really garbled. The person on the phone knows immediately we're making a lot of calls. We may well be calling from a call centre. We're in a rush. They can't even hear who we are, what we're ringing about, or even why they should care. So the first thing is be really clear and really slow. Because quite often when someone's just picked up the phone, actually their attention isn't even fully on what's on the phone because they're still looking at the email that they're reading. They're going, hello, yeah, that's right, exactly, Tiana, speak clearly. Because what's happening is that they're looking at something else, they're distracted. Their attention is not on that call. So the very first thing is think about your pace. What feels fast to you is often slow to other people. So just be very clear, very slow, especially if we're feeling nervous, we rush. All right, the second thing is you're going to introduce yourself. Now, we want to be really clear that people get our name. And we've just said that people might not have their full attention on the beginning of that call. So you can use a James Bond technique. Some of you might have heard this before. It's my James Bond technique. Because Bond always says, the name's Bond. James Bond. We remember his name, of course we do. It's the most famous introduction in history. So we're going to introduce ourselves on the phone in a little bit of the same way. We're going to use both parts of our name and we're going to use a pause. So we're going to say it's Victoria, pause, Victoria Fleming. Okay? So point number 2, dun dun dun, introduce yourself. The next thing that's likely to happen is people are going to want to know why you're calling. You know, well, why are you ringing me? Okay, so whatever. So the third thing about it is you need to be clear on why you are calling. Why are you calling? And at this point, you must offer your value. So if you're ringing someone and you are asking for their time, which you are, as soon as that phone rings and they answer it, you are asking for their time. You have to give them something in return. What is the point of value that you're offering them? You need to get to that really quickly because you know what? We're all really busy. We haven't got time for chat. So, yeah, 3, offer value. Tiana, you're doing a great job of summarising my key points here. So while you're calling, you're going to offer value. So that might be, I'm calling just in response to X, Y, and Z, which you put on LinkedIn. I'm calling because we've actually just produced a white paper and I couldn't help but notice that actually your business falls right in the demographic. So I wanted to offer that to you and ask if I could get some feedback for you. Whatever it might be, think about what is my point of value. So you need to offer that straight away. Okay, point number 4. Do you like the paper? Have I wasted my time or do you like the bits of paper? Number 2 wants to get cold calls. Sorry, D7. Is that no one wants to get cold calls? Why don't cold callers recognise their demographic? Exactly. I couldn't agree more. I do not believe in cold calls at all. You only call exactly people when you know that A, who they are, B, what you're calling for, and C, you have value to offer them. So it's got to be a personal conversation. Otherwise, you know, no one wants that call. You know, Mr. B. Robinson, can I talk to you about your electric? No, you can't actually. So here we go. Point number 4. Yeah, and if they haven't asked as well, they, you know, it's awful. So point number 4, because Pirate Pete is ticking away, is what is your objective? You can only do one thing in that call. One objective. Yeah, if you don't ask, if you haven't asked someone to call, then they shouldn't call. The only thing I would say about that is that sometimes you might not ask people to call because you don't actually know what they're offering. It's one of those things about how you actually present yourself and what your actual background to making that call is. Whole of the Periscope. But one objective. So here we go. Yeah, Tiana's doing a great PA job there. All right, so we've got our objective. Our objective on that might be to make a meeting. It might be to make a contact or build a relationship. Could be any of those things. It might be to touch base with someone who we haven't seen for ages. It might be to follow up on a networking event. The 4th thing that we need to do is, having offered our value, we need to go straight in with that objective, because as I keep saying, time is money. We haven't got time to waste talking to people on the phone. When someone's rang you and you're having a conversation, you really, really want to give them the value and get straight to the point, because actually that's being respectful of their time. you know, I'm in the middle of something already when you've rang me. So, you know, think about the time you're taking there. So what's the objective? Get straight to it. And remember, that is one thing. So if your objective's a meeting, start talking about that. I really want to get in touch because I thought we should meet face to face. It was so great meeting you at that networking event. I've been on the website. I think there's some great synergy there. And then we need to actually gain agreement, which is, of course, our point number 5. Dum, dum, dum. Because 5 is actually getting that agreement. And I always think that it's really easy to get agreement if you give people options. So in that example I've just given, I think it would be great if we could get together and have coffee. I'm actually available for that next Tuesday at 3. How does that sound to you? Hi Moscow. I've got many people who I don't know there. Moscow, all of Moscow's calling. It's the Eurovision Song Contest. So 5 key points. Before we even ring, remember we're going to do who, objective and value. Who are we ringing? What is our objective for the call and what value are we offering them? We then have our 5 key points. Number 1 is be clear and slow. Number 2 is to introduce yourself and to use that approach where you give your first name twice with a pause in it. The other thing with that, point number 2, thank you Andrew, yes, be clear and slow. The second point there is really important, again, to re-emphasise our first name as well, and the fact there's a personal relationship there. Right, point number 3, why are you calling? What value can you offer? If you want my time, why should I listen to you? Give me some value, and do not make it an off-the-shelf thing. Didn't need to enter. Andrew, don't worry about making notes, you can watch it on replay. Okay, so number 3, remember at that point in time, why are you calling? What value can you offer? Why would I talk to you? Point number 4, remember your objective. You only have time to do one thing. You have not got time to sell your product, introduce the company, try and set up a meeting. You know what, I haven't got time to listen to that and I'm actually not interested. So if you decide what is your one objective and stick to that. We then have our next step. Gain agreement on that next step. But if it's a meeting, agree the time, agree the day. And as I say, some of you know, I'm big on options. You know, if you're trying to set up a meeting, I can do Tuesday or Thursday. Which day would be better for you? Loads of different ways to do it. But remember, you need to get that agreement. That is the point of the call. Once you have got that agreement, I've got one last hot tip. And I haven't got a bit of paper because this is my secret tip. Once you have gained agreement and succeeded in your objective, put the phone down. And I mean this completely. I've seen salespeople do the most amazing job in the world, build a great relationship, agree a date and time for a meeting. They get all that in place. And then they go, oh, great. So now I'll just tell you all about the company and the products and this, that, and the other. Okay, well, in that case, what is the point of me having the meeting with you? You start to unsell your objective. So get your agreement, get the phone down, because if you've agreed to follow up, if you've agreed a sale, whatever it might be, you've done it, you're done, get out of there. So that's my little secret tip as well. Don't start to unsell at the end of the call. The big thing about picking up the phone though, okay, so Pirate Pete is telling us our time is up. I've totally lost what I was saying as well, so that's really lucky. But Pirate Pete, who you may have noticed has now attained co-host status, he gets more fan mail than me, has told us that our time is up today. So they're the 5 key things. Go away, give them a whirl. The key thing is, speaking to someone on the phone is the same as speaking to someone face to face. It's just a conversation. It's just a relationship. And you know what? That means that as long as you're respectful, as long as you actually have a meaningful conversation rather than a generic scripted conversation, guess what? If you don't get your objective, it doesn't matter, because they'll be okay with speaking to you again. And after all, that's what sales is all about, really. It's just about building those ongoing relationships. It's been great to be here tonight. So I've got a couple of things to tell you about before I go. First thing is, you can find me on buzztastic.co.uk, so do come across there. You'll find there's heaps of content on there, including videos of all of the scopes that I do. I stick the videos up there afterwards, so you can get them if you want. The other thing is, if you're not already a member of our amazing Facebook group, I'll tell you what, oh, thanks so much, Andrew, thanks, Heather, thanks everyone. I'm pleased you enjoyed it. Oh, it makes me all happy. But it is this Facebook group, Superstars of Sales. It's full of talented, good-looking, intelligent, successful people, and you should be a part of it too. So get on Facebook, go and find it, Superstars of Sales. It's a closed group just because we do have conversations that might be about your business, so it keeps it off of your timeline. Come and sign in. We'll see you there. There's some great chat goes on. Andrew, it's all right. We all blush all the time. And Bev, yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow as well. So thanks so much for coming along. And remember, 6 o'clock next Tuesday, tune in. And actually, I've got a big secret. Next week, I've got real pirates coming. It's going to be really exciting. So see you next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And thanks for tuning in. Bye.